So another episode of Cork in the North this week is sponsored by the Doyen Pub. The Doyen Pub is just off the Lisburn Road, a fabulous place to go for drinks, for food, to socialise, to see your friends, to see your family, to go on a date. Plenty of parking, toilets and everything. You name it, they got it. Function room, hire it for a christening, for a wedding, for your second marriage, for your third marriage, whatever it is you want to do, a 50th, a 30th, a 21st. You can do loads. There's comedy down there as well. Check them all out online. The Doyen Pub, just off the Lisburn Road. It's a great place to go. I was there last week having a Sunday dinner and it was fantastic. Great food. Had the chicken burger. It was absolutely brilliant. Very reasonably priced. And if you use the code CORK25, you get 25% off your food Wednesday to Saturday. It's only open Wednesday to Sunday. Wednesday to Saturday is your food. So go out when the weather's getting good. Go out on a Thursday night. Go for a bit of dinner. Take them out. Take her out. Treat them with respect. Take them to a posh place. It looks fantastic. You can hire it out yourself. You can watch sport. You can go there for a drink before you go to a concert or stuff like that. When out in the parks or wherever they are, Belsonics and all these, Vital and the Boucher Road and all that kind of stuff. That's the place to go for your pints, for your drinks, for your food. The Doyen Pub, the Lisburn Road. Okay, so they're our sponsor. We love them. They're fans of us. We're fans of them. They're keeping this sinking ship afloat. Okay, they have melted the iceberg because of their love towards us, and we want you to go there and tell them Cork in the North podcast sent you, and trust me, they'll look after you.
We've got a good headliner for the comedy club next month.
Who is it?
We've got Aaron Butler headlining the show next month.
Very good. Aaron's going to be coming with me on tour, doing some tour supports and stuff like that. You've had Aaron recently for your tour, haven't you?
Yes,
he's a great support act.
He's a great support act, yeah.
I was sitting at home recently, Dave. Dave Elliott's with us this week, ladies and gentlemen. Friend of the podcast, friend of mine, family friend, kind of guy I would ring if I had a problem.
You're on my list, by the way, since we've discussed that. You're on my list of people, if I was in trouble, I would trust.
Would you?
Yeah, I would.
I'm on the list. I like that.
Yeah, because I would believe you're a kind of guy that you would help people.
I do help people.
And you would help me, and I would trust you.
You think so? So if your house was like, if you, I don't know, if there was something problems at home or anything like that, you'd ring me or like, what? Give me an example of an emergency you would use me for, Dave. What would you use me for?
If bad boys came to my door.
Bad boys.
If bad boys came to my door and they're like, you need to hold this money for me. And I was like, oh no, and they're like, and you have to pay it back with interest. And I'm like, but I don't borrow it. And they're like, I know, but you still do. I'd phone you and be like, where are the best interest rate accounts I could put this money in to keep it safe for the boys?
Unbelievable.
I would do that.
You know what I mean?
Or, the old classic, like you've said it before, if you had a breakdown at night, who do you think A would answer and B would help you? I think you would both do both those things.
Sean, you'd agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Who would you call if your mum found a marijuana cigarette in your backpack and you're like, I'm just holding this for a friend?
Sean, has this just happened to you? That was so detailed. You've just had a baby and now you're smoking marijuana.
Be like, hey mum, I'm 37. Fuck off. Do I want? It's like, I'm a full grown guy. Yeah, it's just for me and I'm going to smoke it in your face.
So, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I would just be loud.
What a detailed example.
But then I'm one of these people who sometimes, if you just want to be straight on, be like, it's mine. You'd have to have I would probably say to my mum, I've got like chronic pains in my phalanges.
Right.
And she'd be like, okay. But then my mum would hear something and take it think there's something terribly wrong with me. Anytime I tell my mum, like, for example, she'd be like, oh, you look tired. I'm like, yeah. Now, I've 3 late nights in a row out gigging and I'm a bit tired. I've got, life's tiring at times. And she'll be like, oh, there's something else wrong with him there. I'm like, no, I'm just tired. I've just been, no. It's like, you've been to see a doctor. I'm like, I've just been up past 1 o'clock 3 nights in a row. That's literally it.
Yeah.
She's like, no. And then you'll go back a week later and you'll be fine again. She goes, I was really worried about you there. I said, there's no need to be. I was just tired. It's grand.
Our Patrick could leave the house, after like a similar thing, loads of gigs. And then my mummy would go, worried about our Patrick.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, but that's it. And then sometimes I'll go to bed early, like, because I kind of work on a way. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but say you've 4 gigs in a row, 4 nights of late. It's going to be late. Maybe come the Sunday or the afterwards, you'd be a bit tired. You maybe go to bed about 8 o'clock, maybe earlier, and you recharge and you're ready to go again.
Yeah, well, if I'm gigging, like recently there, I had an awful time. Recently, I was flying to London to do a gig, and I was on the 12:40 flight from Belfast City, and at 7 o'clock, I just checked my app, the boarding pass in the app, and I came back and I went, flight's cancelled. we've put you on the 4 o'clock flight. We've moved you automatically to the 4 o'clock flight. And I went, no, I'm on stage at 4:30 in London. So then I had to step out of doing something and go, I need 5 minutes here, guys, to fix this. I got on the 10:55 a.m. You know what I mean? Just to deal with that stress. Went over, did the show, and then I realised I've booked a 7 o'clock flight back by accident. Didn't get off stage till midnight. Then had to go to bed for like 4 hours. Then get a taxi from central London out to Heathrow, which was 45 quid.
Yeah.
And got home at like 8:30 on the Friday morning. And I was dead, like absolutely dead. And then that night I had to drive to Enniskillen to do a gig.
Oh.
And then on Sunday, I'm sitting at home on Sunday then, and it's like, oh, there's loads of football on, there's a bit of golf, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I want to do today? I just want to sit on my arse and watch sport. And then I go, oh no, me and Julie are going to do this now, and we're going to do that, which is great. But there's also, when you gig for 4 or 5 days, there's a day where you go, I don't want to do anything. If you have high stimulation nights, you need low stimulation days. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. And also, what I don't think, and this is definitely a first world problem thing, and it's not a complaint because it's the life that we live. But sometimes if you do 2 or 3 podcasts in a day and go home, you're a bit tired.
Oh, yeah.
But then you go home and it's like, why are you tired for it? I'm like, well, all you were doing is hanging out with your mates all day. I'm like, I know, but I have to have my brain switched on, and it takes a lot for me to turn this brain on. It's like a juggernaut. It's slow to get going, but when it gets going, it's
exhausting. It's exhausting being alive.
But you know what? It's fun, and eventually you'll not be. That's what I always think about it. So,
Dave, in terms of your head and your spaces for that, we were sitting down watching a TV show recently, and we saw a character in a TV show called Blue Lights, and he was very, very sick. He was very aggressive. He was very abusive, and I thought, that's the Dave I know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Canning. I was going to say Desmond Eastwood's character.
No, I saw you in Blue Lights.
Yes. Oh, look, it was.
You were fantastic.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was great to be involved in Blue Lights. But
you don't really mention it though.
Nah, I don't think it's not a big part of me really. It's just something that I had the pleasure to be involved in, and I'm happy to have been involved in it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was great to be Brendan in Blue Lights. The most fun of all is just wrecking the house. If anyone hasn't seen it, I play a character who's maybe not having the best time in his life, and he's just taking it out on all his cutlery. Thankfully not his television, but all his cutlery. All his
and you were bribed
plates.
with cigarettes.
Yep, the big man just need to sit down with a wee fag and just chill out,
Yeah. How did you get the part?
I don't know. I got an audition through my agent. I was like, you're auditioning for this role. It's Blue Lights. And it was one when I got it, I went, oh no, nerves. Because usually 9 times out of 10, if I get an acting audition, I'll just go, I'll record the tape, but think to myself, I'll never get this. It's never going to come my way. And I'm not the world's greatest actor, and it's not like my main field, so I just do it to try to. So I thought, when I saw this, I went, oh no, I'd really like to get this. Yeah, I'd really like to get this, because I was a massive fan of the first season, thought it was a brilliant show, and I really put the effort into trying to do the audition tape.
I obviously had an extra role in it, or supporting artist, as I like to call it.
Of course, yes.
And because we had a supporting artist role, we were actually invited to the premiere screening, and I didn't see you there.
Yes. No.
So you had a much bigger role, talking role. You're in 2 episodes, and I was invited to the screening that was on down near Queen's University, where all the celebs of the show, press were there, politicians, Naomi Long, the people from the DUP were there. There was people from Sinn Féin there. There was celebrities, comedians. There was who's who of the entertainment world in Belfast or in the north of Ireland. People had flown over from England just to come to the screening, and there I had a tiny little side shoulder shot in a scene that is completely irrelevant to the whole show. And Dave had 2 episodes, and I thought, where is Dave? I can't see him.
And where I was in my house, putting my daughter in the bath.
Why weren't you there?
I forgot. So bad. I forgot. It was so bad. And I shit myself because I went and I had the wee one in the bath. Just
left her there.
Just totally going about my business. And I actually sat down and had a wee look at my phone, and I saw Andrew Ryan's got a story. Hit on it. It was you at the premiere, and I was like, oh my God, I'm such a fucking idiot. And I just had to
You
apologize.
messaged me.
Yeah, I had to email them and be like, I'm really sorry. I got my dates completely muddled up here and I didn't go.
What did they say?
I think they were just like, oh, well, I mean, what can we do now? It's done. You're not here.
Well, don't worry about it. Even one of the writers was on holiday. Declan was there, but the other writer,
Yeah, Adam,
Patterson, wasn't there.
I'm like thinking in my head now that they had, when you're on the phone to them saying, I'm so sorry, I missed it. They have like this script on their table. And it's like Brandy's own spin-off series, and they're like, "No, it's all right, Dave."
That's
and
done,
they put it
yeah.
in the bin.
Oh yeah.
Boogaloo, Brandon.
What was it like? What was it like being on set there?
It was honestly, like, it's going to sound so naff, and everyone's like, listen to him. It was class. The whole thing was brilliant. The whole, like the from everyone from the production team to the makeup, from costume, everyone just really sound.
And did they pick you up in a car and stuff?
Well, listen, I'm a man of the people. I like to be able to drive myself, you know. And I said, look, thank you for the offer, but I'll drive myself, you know, because I still think, you know, sending someone to collect you whenever you can just do it yourself.
Yeah. And where did you film your scenes?
In Ballybean. So it was in a
Where's
house.
Ballybean?
Ballybean Estate in Dundonald. So I can take my hat off now, can I? So there we are.
Yeah.
But I'll just put it in the background here so people. There you go. But yeah, in Ballybean. So it was in somebody's house, in Ballybean, which was.
So you go down there in
nice.
the morning. You got a copy of the script.
Yeah. Obviously, I have my lines learned. Come
Did
on.
you have to do rehearsal?
Yeah, but we did a read through day. So you went and you did a read through, a table read with the whole cast. Now that was class too because I was a fan of the first series, so I was sort of going in and, you know, you get to see people and you're like, wow, this is cool, you know. And the entire series was read through, so from episode 1 right through to episode 6.
Were they acting it out as they're reading it?
No, just it was just the read through, but it was great. And then like you'd see like meeting Andy Osho, who's obviously a
former
comedian.
stand-up,
She's
yeah.
great, so it was fun to meet her. And then you try to not be all scunnered and all. You're like, oh, nice to meet you, you know.
Yeah.
I remember first time I met her, I was really like embarrassed and like, oh, hiya. And then whenever at the rap party, I went over and I properly spoke to her, so it didn't look like some sort of weird stalker, you know. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Was the
sorry.
rap party good?
It was good fun. Yeah, it was.
Where
it was
did you
nice
have
time.
that?
It was in Rita's in Belfast.
Yeah. And
was
everybody
good.
was there, were they?
Yeah, it was good. It was a good night. It was one of those. Again, I don't know if you find it too, because it's such a big production with so many core cast members who've probably been filming for months on end. They're like a big family, and then I'm in there for a few days. You know, you sort of feel a bit like, oh,
You're not in the clique.
should have go, but everybody was.
You're
so
not in the
nice.
WhatsApp group, like.
Exactly, you know. But and then it's like, oh, it's not my place to go, and I'd be very like that anyway. Like I'd always be like, oh, but I just thought, oh, I'll go along because everyone's so, and it was a really fun night. I'm glad I went, and everyone's so sound, and it was just the whole thing's class. Even to be a part of it, if I ever get a chance to go back, it would be great. And if I don't, you know, I'm
Yeah.
delighted to have
Well,
been
Series
in
3
it, you know.
is being developed at the moment. Are you hoping that your character can make a return?
Oh, I would love it. Yeah, I would love it. You know, but again, if there's not, I'm still. It's one of those things.
I would love to try and do a bit of acting. I had didn't have an acting agent, I had a casting agent. And then when I lived in London, they were always like, we're looking for like a comedian to take part in this show, blah, blah. I went and auditioned for a barman in the In-Betweeners film. And it was fine, didn't get the part. I also auditioned my voice for a part in a Disney show.
Nice.
That would have been like pretty big. They're looking for an Irish character.
Oh, what, an Irish carpenter?
An Irish character.
Oh, I see,
And there's
an
an
Irish
Irish character
carpenter.
in the animation, and they needed an Irish accent, and they sent me a clip of what the kind of style they were looking for, which was the most stereotypical Irish accent. It was like, "Oh, but Judy McGorry and McGann, you know, the grass is not green, and I love butter." You know, like it was all like hyper Irish. So I was like, "That's not an Irish accent. I can't." So I was going. So say if my line was like, I want to go to the top of the hill and find the fairy cakes. I would be like, I want to go to the top of the hill to find the fairy cakes. And they didn't even, it was so bad, I didn't even get to the end of my script. They were like, that's enough, thanks Andrew.
Yeah, oh, no.
And then I auditioned for a part in what's that film with Ronnie Barker when he was in prison, Porridge?
Yeah.
They were making a new style porridge.
Yeah, Overnight Oats.
I auditioned. Oh, that's a good one. I auditioned for that, and I had to go to Balham in London, and they sent me the script, and I lived on my own, so I had nobody to bounce the lines off. And I went down and I sat in a room and this guy played the other character. So it was me and you, say, for example. And then another person sat in the corner kind of observing. And he would start and he'd be like, so what time is he calling at? And say my answer, say I had to say like, oh, he'll be here at 5:30. Make sure you're not late. Say that was my line, right? And he'd say, what time is he calling at? And I'm like, be here at 5:30, so don't be late. And he's like, no, you need to say the words.
Yeah.
So I was just making up. I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't read.
Yeah.
So he was like, going, just say, Andrew. So we'd stopped the audition. He said, can you just say what's written on the sheet? I was like, yeah. So the scene is like, he'll be here at 5:30, so don't be late. That's what's written on the sheet. And I would go, 5:30, so be late. Don't be late.
Yeah.
He's like, no, just say he will be here at 5:30, so don't be late. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And he would go, what time is he coming at? And I'd be like, he said that he'd be here at like, about 5:30 or something. So try not to be late. He's like, can you please? He actually did this. Look.
Yeah.
Say the sentence. I did it twice, and that was it. I've never gone for an audition again.
Oh,
I just couldn't do it.
Andrew turns into William Shatner every time the cameras
Yeah.
go on.
I just couldn't do it.
oh, but it is like I was reading for a part on something recently, and I just thought the writing was so bad. Like the way the
Is that the
words.
script I sent you?
Oh yeah, no, but the way the words were on the page, and you're reading it, it's like, that's not a way a normal person from Northern Ireland would speak. Like, and like you're saying, they would probably say it like this. And I remember reading it, and I was doing it with Catherine, and she was like, "That just sounds terrible." And I'm like, "It's the words I'm reading. It's not, you know." And you sometimes.
So is she the person you bounce off?
Sometimes, but then it gets very stressful. Me and her, it's not good.
She's directing you or something.
Yeah, and then sometimes she'll be like, "Just don't move your eyebrows as much," and I'll be like, "What do you mean? Don't move." It's like you're doing comedy face. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "As soon as you start, you go." I was like, "No, I'll try not to. Just be not." And then she'll not realize. Like sometimes you have to. 'Cause what I don't think she realizes, whenever you're reading lines or it is a little bit scundering. You know, when someone else is there. Yeah. So like whenever you have to like turn into a character, you have to do like their cadences and their nuances and how you want to. And she just expects me to read it as me. So if I'm reading as like what I usually get is like hard man 1 or pervert. You know, it's like I've been reading for something that's just creepy, whatever. It's just like a creepy man in the 18th century. So I'm like, you want on this ship? We can make something up between us. We get some sort of agreement. Whoa. She's like, and I was like, that's all it is, you know. I was like, oh, we can agree on something. Whoa. You know, it's like just weird to get into that sort of. And then anytime there's an accent, I can't do an estuary accent, which is like an Essex sort of London type.
All right, mate. How you doing? You're right.
But then that's Cockney, you see. So I could do that.
Oh, from Essex. Yeah.
But
now from Chelmsford in Essex.
Then I just sound terribly Australian when I do that. And then
what other ones can you do?
Belfast. That's the accent.
Can't do Belfast.
I can't do Belfast.
I think I could do Belfast.
Right, give it a rattle.
Here we go. Och no, that's us now. Are you going down?
Julian Simmons.
Are you going down the Boucher?
In fact, no, you're Daniel O'Donnell. So you're doing. Oh Jesus, Magella. Here.
I was going down the Boucher. That's us now. He says, my daddy. I love my daddy. My daddy's mad. I love my daddy. And he was there now, do you know?
Yeah.
And he was there now, do you know? That's not good.
I just know it's not good.
Can you do Cork? Like proper Cork? Can you do Cork but without my Cork? Like my Cork's very diluted, like but
no, I don't know. It's sort of a bit silly like this, isn't it? No.
That's English, man.
I don't know.
No, that's posh
That's
English.
just Chris Kent.
Yes.
Do Chris Kent. Can you do Chris Kent?
No, he's very slow when he talks, isn't he? No, can't.
Sean, can you do it?
No. Well, there, bye.
What?
Uh-huh.
That was a crime against an impersonation.
Sorry.
Well, boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, hello,
Do
boy.
something completely
Yeah.
different.
That would be funny if every audition was just you did that. Right, there's a Belfast
That
accent.
ain't the way we do it down here in Cork.
That's like a Jamaican Cork accent.
Well, that's us now, boy.
Touch it.
But yeah,
I remember going for an audition years ago. Not for an audition, a voiceover kind of casting thing. And I started to do voiceovers and stuff. And obviously, being a comedian is my job, right?
Yeah.
But then if you get anything on the side, you kind of be like, well, I don't rely on this.
Yeah.
So if I got a voiceover or a casting call or something like that, I'm like, well, I'm going into this with no real pressure because I'm still going to work tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this as extra. But I remember
What do you mean? Woo!
No, but like,
Right.
you know, but like,
Yeah.
I don't rely on comedy's my living. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
you know, like,
and sassy.
yeah, comedy's my living. So if this doesn't work out, there's no real
pressure.
I couldn't give two shits, right? But I remember once going for a casting in London, and I was going in, and I arrived on time, just before on time, filled out the forms. You know, you fill out the forms, right? And there was a girl there and a guy there, and I swear to God, they were both actors, and I actually think like, if you could see them just so focused, and they're like reading the script and going over it and walking around with the script, talking in their head, and I just was playing on my phone.
Yeah.
And I just said to myself, oh, this is their actual number one job. This isn't my number one job. You know, like they really want this because this is, you know, their thing. And I remember going in to do the audition. It was dog shit, by the way. And I came out and they were like, okay, thanks, Andrew. And then I had to go in and I do it. And then there was a girl that came out as well. I think there was 2 different rooms. One was casting for a girl and one was casting for a boy. And then I think the callbacks, then you would be paired up with girls and you see which way your rhythm would go. And she came out and she was Irish actually. And she said, they were like, okay, Siobhan, say, thanks very much for coming in. And she just went, okay, well, you know, I'll just wait around if you want. I'll just wait around just in case you need me again. And they're like, oh, no, we're actually done. She goes, well, I'm going to be in the area anyway for the next 3 or 4 hours in case you need me again. Literally trying to say to themselves, like I fucking need this job.
Yeah, yeah.
I find that quite odd.
Oh, it is.
It's a different word, like, because actors can go 7-8 months without any income, like.
Yeah. But then it's weird because, like, you obviously being on any kind of production of anything, you'll see actors who have their own process of doing things. You know, mine is learn the lines and say them. That's you're supposed to do, I think, is kind of it. But I've seen some people getting really, like, into it and, like, not speaking to anybody and, you know, it's really...
Do you not think that's a bit of OTT?
I do, yes. But again, it's not...
It's not our world, I suppose.
No, and I sometimes look at people and you think, what are you doing? But then you have people who are brilliant, like Shan Brooke, who was Grace in Blue Lights. She's unbelievable, but she'll just sit and have a chat to you about life. You know, you're just chatting about things. What's the crack? What are you doing after the show? You know, going home to see the kids and stuff like that. And then action, boom, and she just goes on and absolutely, like, even the wee, like the bit. I mean, everyone can read lines or learn lines and say lines, but actually do the wee bit. Just watching her, I was like, wow, it's brilliant. You know, it's just really, really good. And
the reason they're so good is because they're trying to get into just a normal flow of conversation.
Yeah.
They want to have a normal conversation, but it's just scripted.
Yeah.
Because they just want to be relaxed. So they probably use techniques where we go, oh, what time are you picking the kids up? Oh, action, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going, you know what I mean? They just want to get into that rhythm. Whereas if you're not an actor, you're going to overthink it and you think, I need to overact.
Yeah. And then, like, with me, whenever I'm chatting about the kids and all, they're like, action. Turn into like, so I've got mental health problems. So, but like that was a fun thing too. So, Catherine Devlin, who plays Annie, she was, whenever my first scene, when I looked around, saw her coming around the corner, my first thought was, haha, I'm in Blue Lights. Like I was in a video game almost. I was like, oh, and I remember actually feeling my face going, oh, and then I was like, I can't do that. You don't have to be. But she just was in it from, again, being her to be in the character. It was
what was she like then? Like off when the cameras were off?
They were all so sound. You know, they were all great.
I would say like a dickhead in that group wouldn't last very long in a show.
Oh no, I would say
because they were like, you know, if you're coming in with like an ego and you're being a bit twatty about it, I think what would happen to the other actors would turn and go, this person is causing problems here, and they'll just be written out of it.
See the new character Shane, who sort of took over from Jerry, from season 1. Frank, he is a southerner. And his accent was great. And he was very, very sound.
Which guy was he again?
You know, the one who I have the fight with, who gives me a cigarette. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he plays the Shane character.
Oh, where's he from in the south?
I think he's Dublin. But he's the
one that got off with Annie.
Yes.
Terrible. Disgusting.
Yeah. But I got more people texting me being like, I'm glad you hit him. You know, I loved it when you hit him. And all. And it was like, I mean, I didn't actually.
How do you actually do it? When you do a fake hit, is it like clapping?
I got him with such a bitch backhand, like Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs.
But how do you do it? Are you're just doing the movement, but someone does a clapboard?
I think they just put the sound in afterwards. I think it's just an after effect.
But did you actually touch them?
No, stunt coordinator. So yeah, we had a stunt coordinator in there.
And I suppose the way they shoot it, they shoot it from an angle that just looks.
Yeah, and then, but yeah, there was a full stunt scene, which was I had to get a stunt coordinator in. Pete Ford was in. He conducted everything. And he was like, "You're not punching him realistically enough." And I'm like, "I know, because if I did, he wouldn't get up again."
But your wrestling experience would have came in handy with If that,
Yeah, but then, it'd given him the stink face or something like that. Wouldn't look like a sharpshooter. Wouldn't have been like something a guy in that scenario would do. But
it was Randy Orton, like poking him in the eye.
Taking the elbow pads off like The Rock, people's elbow. But it was actually tough because I did a couple of bloopers. I punched a leg of an office chair when I went to punch something else. I was really sore, and then I punched the sofa, and there's like wood inside the sofa, like there's and that really hurt my hand as well. So I did more acting, pretending I hadn't just broken my hand. But yeah, it was good fun.
Do you get access to those bloopers?
Oh no, but I'd love to have them.
It's a long day just to do a scene or two, isn't it?
But then they send you back, you have a wee trailer and all, and they bring you your lunch, and they go, just do whatever you want there, and you have a toilet, so if you want, you can have a poo. There's a shower. Great time.
And did you mingle with them offset much, or were they just in their own zone?
Everyone was in like while you were waiting to do takes, you'd have a bit of crack, it was, which I thought was very unprofessional to do drugs on a set, but you just chatted like you would do with anybody, and then all the production team and the camera guys and sound people and the makeup, the team were the best. They were just brilliant, and hair and makeup were great crack. So
have people recognise you from it?
Yeah. I get a bit which is
what's happened.
Some people be like, oh, there's your, and then you go Brandy, comedy clubs and stuff.
Really?
Oh, it's Brandy. I'm like, yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
and you can shut up or I'll lose the head and wreck you. So.
Someone just waving a fag at you.
Yeah, just like people offer me cigarettes. That was actually the funniest one when I was puffing my way around the last leg of the marathon. I was struggling at one point and some fella offered me a cigarette. I was like, very funny. That's very good. Yeah. He goes, you need one of these? I'm like, fuck, I need more than that. I need a bloody lung transplant. But it was, it was.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Now, Dave, you're on tour.
Yes.
You've had some nights at the Lyric.
Yes, so 2 nights at the Lyric and the Old Courthouse in Antrim I have done, and they were great.
Yeah.
So
the new show role play.
Yes, role play.
You look like a Greek god or something in the poster.
You know what? I missed the mark with that. I want to point that out because some people are like, "What? No one knows what it is." I have done a parody of Sam Smith's tour poster. They did a show called Gloria, and I saw that it's exactly the same basically. And I thought everyone would have got the reference. Nobody has. Right. So I should have just stuck my big mug on a poster and written role play underneath it. But yeah, that was the idea behind it.
Okay, so you've done how many? You're doing quite a few dates.
I've another 10 left to go. Yeah. When's this coming out? Will this be out before June 8th?
Oh yeah,
Portico, Portaferry. I'm in there on the 8th of June, and I've
good stuff.
Other dates that are at my website, daveelliottcomedy.com.
Yeah. And what's the show about?
The show is about all the different roles that I either expect myself to fill or others expect me to be. So father, husband, comedian, lover.
What one's your favorite role?
My favorite role is I don't know. My favorite role is just the man who gets left alone with his dog. Is my favorite role. It's like just to sit there in peace and sleep.
Yeah,
would be my favorite role. Yeah. But
do you like when you're at a stage in your life now where you've got all the boxes kind of ticked in terms of life? You're doing a career you want to do. You're married. You've got kids. You're doing good. You're doing something that you enjoy. What's missing?
Just true self-appreciation, I think.
What do you mean?
Just to be happy.
You're not happy?
But I am happy, but I'm one of these people that is always looking to the next thing.
You can't enjoy the moment.
I don't take time to go, that's what's, I don't revel in the good that's happened. Like, you maybe know yourself, like you're, as a stand-up, if you do a show, you maybe forget a tag and a joke. The audience don't know that. They've had a nice time. You come off and you forget that, and you'll, fuck's sake, I forgot that bloody tag, I ruined everything. And then people will be like, no one even noticed. And you'll go, no, I did. And then otherwise you could have gone, that was a good show. I'm trying to get better at that.
You're only focusing on the 2%.
Yeah.
Rather than the 98% of it's good.
Yes.
You'll only focus on the 2%. That's very common, especially for comics.
Yeah, and I think that's something
and for people as well. I think a lot of people, will focus on things that go wrong. I remember I did a show in London recently, and it was for people who set up their own businesses. And they're all like small people who own small shops, real small businesses now, people like 2 staff, family members, and they were getting awards. And I was doing like the research thing. I was sent a profile of who people were in the crowd, and I looked at it and said it was 40 tables, and on every table had a small. Say for example, you set up Dave Elliott's coffee shop.
Yeah,
you could have been nominated for best new coffee shop, And these were all people who took a risk.
Mm-hmm.
These are all people who had an idea and they made the idea a reality. And for them, when they got the idea, to make that a reality, the amount of fear, the amount of nerves, the amount of worrying, because most people will focus on what can go wrong. You know what I mean? And also, because of the industry we're in, it's very hard to enjoy what we do, apart from when we're off stage.
Yeah.
Because we're always looking at what's the next thing.
Yes.
And I think I've learned, especially this year as well, is like, well, the next thing will be the next thing. I can't really...
What will be, will be.
What will be.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to do? How have you noticed this? How have you noticed that you're trying to be a lot more happier? Have you had discussions with your wife? What's going on?
It's just you don't enjoy the good things. I think at the time, like, you finish a show, you want to come off and go, I was happy with that. I come off and go, what could I have done better? And it's like, there's no enjoyment for anybody in that, you know? So I try to designate more time to be just for work. So if you're doing like writing, admin stuff, whatever else, have that set aside. So whenever I'm at home with the kids, with her, I can be more present and not always thinking I need to go and do X, Y, or Z, you know? So designate days for doing stuff and just try to be a bit more chilled and less of an arsehole. That's kind of...
Really?
Yeah.
Does your wife think you're an arsehole?
Oh, yeah. Grumpy bastard.
Is that what she said?
Oh, well,
Oh, Judy be like that with me as well.
Yeah, she's like, you're so grumpy. I'm like, I'm happy. This is joy.
I don't think they realise... I don't think... Bill Burr said it once, and I never related to a man so much when he said, women find it hard to understand how men can be happy by doing nothing.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true.
Honest to God, I don't think people understand that. As a man, if you said to me, Andrew, would you like to sit on the sofa tomorrow and watch telly for 5 hours? I'm like, why am I the luckiest man in the world?
Yeah.
Why am I officially the luckiest man in the world that can get 5 hours on the sofa?
But you know what? I don't even want 5 hours. I would be happy with a cup of coffee in peace. Like, just to be able to sit, finish it, and then go, right, on to the next thing. You know what I mean?
What was your last argument with your wife?
My last argument with her...
Because you were grumpy?
No, we had something... Yeah, I do this thing, bit of fun, where, like, I'll try and, like, trip her up and, like, sort of throw her onto the ground. Like, it's very gentle and controlled, you know. So like,
bit
I'll try
for this type of
but
show.
But then I kind of went to do it on her, and I nipped her on her arm, and she's like, "Oh, you really hurt me." And I was like, "Well, my well, I didn't mean to." When I could have been like, "Oh, sorry, I hurt you," but it's like, "Well, it was an accident." And then she's like, "But you did," and I was like, "I know, but I didn't mean to," and all. That was it. And I was just trying to do like we trip up.
Was she be odd with you for a while?
No. Like, we don't. The last thing, like, sometimes, what's the last thing? I got, you know what? We don't really fight. Sometimes, like, I do think it comes like in circles. Maybe once every quarter, we haven't had a fight, and she'll be like, "Let's have an argument over something silly, just to have an argument." And then, like, the last thing we had a fight about was because that's what it was. I was saying I thought I did all the chores in the house. I wasn't saying it. She said, "Do you think you do all the chores in the house?" And I was like, I'm saying nothing. You're out working. I'm just taking care of business. She's like, "Do you think you do more in the house than me?" And I went, "I know where you're going with this. I don't want an argument." And then she was like, "Well, because I've been so busy and blah blah." And she used the phrase. Now afterwards, it was quite funny. She goes, "I have actively decided to step back." I've actively decided to step back from doing chores.
Step back, man.
And I was like, "To step back from what? Emptying a dishwasher and putting the washing machine on?" And I was like, "No, what you mean there?" And I didn't say this because I'm afraid of her. Is what you meant by that is that you're just happy to let me do it. And then she's like, "Oh, you just fuck off." And then she stormed into the washroom with some washing, because that's how it goes. If I say I do all she'll just grab whatever chores she can do in that moment and then go to do them. So then I was like, I said, like, "We're not going to continue arguing, are you?" And she goes, "Yeah, fuck we are." And I went, "Well, I'm not leaving until you shake my hand." She went, "I'm not shaking your hand." And I followed her around like this, shake my hand. And she's like, "Fine," and shook my hand.
It's just like a professional business relationship that you have.
Yeah. So then I said, "Oh, but listen, there's some stuff that you would not do in a professional business relationship, let me assure you."
I tell you...
oh, she's going to hate that so much. I love it.
She... I remember I've gone out with people who've used the phrase, you know, "I'm taking a step back from this." And we go, but actually, taking a step back means they're actually taking a step forward.
Oh wow,
Right?
you've been reading too much.
It's full of it's nonsense. There's still. I'm taking a step back means I don't want to get overly involved in this, but I still want to watch everything.
Yeah.
I still want to know what's going on. And then I'm not getting involved because I've taken a step back, is then creating another issue.
Yeah.
Because you need to be involved to resolve whatever issue it is.
But to see, that's the thing. I think if you know there's any problems, you just need to get in. You just need to get your wellies in and dive into the problem, get it dealt with. Otherwise, it'll linger and fester.
I'm a bit of a lingerer.
Mm-hmm. But I see, I'm a huffer. See, if I'm annoyed at something, I'll go, whatever, do whatever you need. But you'll tell from my face, I'll skulk about. And I like a wee minute of, see if someone's annoyed me, I'll go away and I'll just need to not see them straight away. And then I'll come back and be fine in a couple of minutes. But, you know, instantly if someone's annoyed you, and like, are you annoyed? You're like, well, yeah. And they're like, but why? And I'm like, just give me a second, you know. But yeah, when the shoe's on the other foot, I'll chase you around looking a handshake, you know. But
yeah, I remember once I was going out with this girl, right, many years ago, and she was kicking off me about something, and she like, it was totally legitimate what she was kicking off me about. I was something I can't remember what it was, but let's just say it was something trivial, like I didn't do a food shop or something, you know. And she came
starved her, just starvation.
No, like I'd go to the shop and buy stuff, and I never did. And she come home, she's like, "Where's the stuff?" And I went, "Oh, I didn't get it." Something around the lines of that. And she went from 0 to 100 instantly. She was just like, "I just can't believe this. Like, you're doing this." I goes, "Okay, well, first of all, sorry. Secondly, the reason why I didn't do it was because this had happened, so I didn't get a chance. And thirdly, I can fix this by going now and doing it."
Yeah.
Okay, so I've apologized. I've explained why. And I've offered a solution. Yeah. Still not good enough. No. So I said, she kept on kicking off me, but it goes, right. You keep going at me about this. I've apologized. I've offered a solution. And I've explained the reason why it hasn't happened. So I've done my bit here. You keep going on about it. So I'm now, I don't care what happens now. So you didn't tell me what to do. Should I go and fix it? You're not getting past this. I'm past this, but you're not past this.
But then you said a line there when you say, I don't care, no matter what. You're like, I don't care about this. That's just going to be...
It's sort of like, okay, there's a problem. I've caused the problem. I apologize. Here's a solution. Can we move forward? They can't. They can never move forward, man.
Yeah. See, this is another thing that we would sometimes... Catherine likes to be very well organised, whereas I cross a bridge when I get to it kind of guy. So if I put something in my diary, like today, I was here, I don't think of anything else until I've been here and done this, and then I'll move on to the next thing. So if something to go to after this, that's fine. But she's like, are you ready to go? Like, I'm going away to New York at the end of the week. She says, have you packed your stuff yet? No.
Oh, you're going home, yeah?
And she's like, why? I goes, because I have other things to do first. Like I do like things like a checklist almost. Like she doesn't like that.
I'm like that as well. You can compartmentalize and just go, right. Yeah. My car insurance is up for renewal next Friday. I'll go, right, okay, say for me, I'll go, right, okay, well on Wednesday I'm going to put aside an hour and a half and I'm going to do my shopping to find a cheaper car insurance. I'll do it on Wednesday morning, 11 to half 12 is car insurance time. But what's it saying online today? It doesn't matter what's saying online today. Yeah. I'll deal with it Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Okay. Monday night. Have you done your car insurance? Didn't I? I've done this like with my ex-girlfriend, right? She's married now and fair play to her.
Not to you.
Not to me.
No.
I was like, no, that's Wednesday. I'm doing that on Wednesday. Yeah, but it's Friday when it's expired. I'm still insured Wednesday. Yeah. I'm still insured Thursday. Yeah. So Wednesday is the day. And I'll do it on Wednesday. Yeah. Whereas my Julie now, she's dead on like. She's like doesn't get any way stressed about things. She works, you know, she's strong. She plans ahead. She knows what she's doing. She'll say to me, "Oh, just had a check on my car insurance or something like that. I've got this and I've got so I'm going to pay that on Wednesday and then we're all done." I'm like, didn't even need to tell her.
And does she just accept that you have your ways of working and works along with that?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I'm nearly 10 years older than Julie, and I say to her, "Listen, I've 10 years, and I have 10 years of ways." 10 ways of doing things, 10 ways of thinking differently. She said to me one day, she goes, you probably would, she said to me one day actually in a nice way, she goes, I genuinely believe if we weren't together, you could go the rest of your life alone and you would have a great time. And I went, That's the dream.
Now, that does sound like it's an early way of about to say, I want to break up with you.
No, it's not
I
so.
think you'd be happy.
No, I wouldn't break it. No.
10 years just by yourself.
No, she said to me, she's like, you could do it on your own. And I go, yeah, but I don't want to do it on my own. And she was like, but you could. I go, oh, I could, yeah. But I don't want to.
Yeah.
I want the stress.
Yes, so that's nice. You got to live amongst the chaos, don't you? You got to be able to...
But look, I don't have any kids. It's different for you. But like, I really enjoy my life at the moment. I'm like enjoying my life. My new show that I'm doing, which is on sale. My new show is called Let Me Know How You Get On. And my show is basically, it's not going to be one of these, sad shows. My show is actually about me. I actually quite enjoy my life at the moment. And I'm going to tell some daft funny stories. And it's about me being in a really nice place. Now, obviously, these things ebb and flow. But this is a positive show.
Good.
And that's what I'm doing. So it's like, here's me just having a laugh.
Yeah.
And there's no massive team to change your life. I need to get you to change your way of thinking if you want to be successful. It's just a bloke relatively happy.
What is that with comedians? Why do a lot of comedians think they have to tell people how to live their lives better?
First things first, I absolutely hate political comedy. I like political jokes, but I hate political comedy that tells you how to think.
Yeah.
So I would never tell you who to vote for or what to do.
But if you were?
We all know who you vote for, then.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Do you? No.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But my point is I would never tell somebody how to vote or how to think or what to do. But I'll happily make a joke about it.
Yeah.
But I'll never force it over. It's just a joke about this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't think comedians should tell other people how to live or how to vote, because comedians are so full of shit.
Yeah.
And they can't even manage their own fucking lives, yet they're going around telling people how to live their lives.
But comedians don't live normal lives. That's the thing, I think, is we all forget. Like, we just sort of hang about until the evenings and talk a bit and then go and do gigs.
Well, you hang about and you go, oh, it's terrible what's happening in the world. And then we all need to vote for this party because that's going to implement real change. I'm like, you haven't changed your bed sheets in 3 months. Man.
Let me just ask you about real change. There's never ever been real change ever. So what's going to change?
Like someone turns around to you and goes, "We're going to fix the NHS." Right? Tell me a time when it wasn't, when it was fixed. Tell me a time when the NHS was amazing.
Yeah,
we're going to sort homelessness. Name a country that sorted it.
Can you find that out over there, Sean?
Is there a country that has zero homelessness?
It's got homelessness figured out.
Let's do a quick Google.
I would say
has sorted.
I would imagine Russia and China or North Korea.
But they're the ones that they're telling you they've sorted it.
But then. That's sometimes, but then they're a wee bit like a husband, aren't they? Like a husband or a man will be like, listen, it's sorted, and he'll be like, but is it sorted? Is it sorted to the standard that I want it? Never you worry. You asked me to hoover. It's sorted. All right.
Every country will have some sort of homelessness.
Yeah.
Finland.
So what's their situation?
Finland is known across the world for its work to end homelessness via its Housing First policy. The country has a 0.08% rate of homelessness.
Well, they still have homelessness.
Has been news for some time. Over the past 10 years, the country has shown an impressive drop in the number of homeless people.
Okay, so do you know what my idea should be? Ireland should put a bid in to that minister from Finland who implemented those changes. And we should buy and sell politicians like footballers.
That's a great idea. Political transfers. Like that. Yeah, that would work well.
Headline day.
Who would you put a big bid in for? So you put the homeless minister from Finland?
Get the homeless minister in, 5-year deal, and say, listen, you did really well in Finland with the homelessness. Yeah. Come to Ireland, have a look at our structures. What can we do to eradicate homelessness? Because I tell you something.
At the wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it?
Ula's at the wheel.
Do you know what I mean?
Ula who? What's Ula's surname?
Hoop.
Ula Hoop. Stuff like that. I have this bit that I'm working on. It's like you can buy and sell politicians like footballers.
Yeah, I think you should. Yeah,
because it's like our own people can't get it fucking right. So let's start bringing in foreigners to do it.
Yeah, can you imagine the UP aren't in business? Who I've put in £100 million bid. Who for? Putin.
Well, where? Yeah. Northern Ireland.
First, he'd be deputy first minister of the works. He would purge Stormont. And then, in fact, set up his office in the Kremlin.
Who would buy like the UP minister's office?
Jesus Christ! Who's
Argentina?
Yeah,
Argentina's gone well to the right now, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean,
North Korea, Argentina, DUP. Do you know what will happen? Is North Korea will probably look at the DUP and go, not as extreme enough.
No, but I mean, I think somewhere that would be a brilliant show. You've had wife swap, why not politician swap?
Yeah,
you just switch them in from different places, different.
You should be able to. You should be. It's constitutions obviously say you can only run if you're citizen or born in that country, whatever.
Kim Jong-un in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Can you imagine Kim Jong-un before like rugby matches with Michael D and Kim Jong-un going around shaking
Going around
people's
shaking people's hands, like, you know what I mean?
And now, out of respect, we will play the national anthem of North Korea.
Or here's that's the North Korea anthem. It's just people being shot in the street.
Apparently, Kim Jong-un had a problem with one of his uncles.
And just kill him.
But with anti-aircraft missiles, that's unnecessary. Like, that seems to me like that's... You could do something else. You don't need to... Like, that's a waste of resources.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's just wiping them out.
He's very sick, apparently. Like, he looks really
Kim
ill.
Jong?
Yeah. He'll go... Apparently, the sister's a lunatic.
Well, we need Kim Jong-do then to come along, don't we? Kim
His
Jong-un.
his sister's like...
Oh,
like,
but they,
she's even worse, apparently.
but they won't like that. The boys over there, don't they?
No,
Like
it has to be a male leader.
Has to
doesn't
be
it?
a fella.
But who's
yeah.
next? If he goes, who's next in line?
I don't want to make the Kim Jong-do joke again, but yeah. But
It
yeah.
would be fun if we could
But then
buy and sell politicians like footballers.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, who? But I don't know who I'd buy at the minute. I think UK politics is so weak. Northern Irish politics, especially. Whoa.
Southern Irish is still more the same. Like, you know what I
I
mean?
think like the English, you know, like politicians are sort of like Man United at the minute. They're fell far from grace.
Well,
Yeah.
I think politics
Bad
in the
squad.
UK is actually it's got quite embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like the way they've gone down the kind of the like I think Brexit to me was like oh my god. Like, do you know, somebody said, I saw an interview, you've watched them on TikTok, they said somebody like, oh, we voted for Brexit, we voted to end free movement of people, and someone said, you know that you've voted to end your freedom of movement as well, and they went, oh, I thought it was just foreigners.
Yeah.
No.
But you know what's good about Brexit though is the fact that we live here in Northern Ireland. We can have 2 passports and we can just have both of them in the back pocket,
Yeah.
whichever the queue's smaller. Bingo.
Yeah.
You know.
I know, I'd love to, yeah, and the mad thing about this is that like the amount of people who have applied for the Irish passport here from a British background here.
I would love to see all like. I would love it if Jim Allister had an Irish passport.
Oh, it'd be so funny.
Oh, can you imagine?
Dirt.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it'd be great crack, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I hate everything down south, but then you catch them sneakily. But you know what? Those politicians out there that do that, like, you know, there's loads of anti-gay politicians out there that have been caught like having sex with men.
That's gay to do that too, isn't it? If you're a man.
Yeah, there was a guy I think it was in the Netherlands. He was running these rallies for anti-gay, and he was caught like chaining up men and having sex with them.
Yeah,
But
but the thing is
You
that
see,
like
if he just chained them up and didn't have sex, you're fighting your cause then.
No, but if you chain
you're-
somebody up and you don't have sex with them, that's a criminal offence. You
But
chain
if
them up
you're-
and have sex with them, that's pleasure.
But if you're an anti-gay politician and you're like capturing gay people, just chaining them up, you're fighting your good fight. But if you're chaining them up then sucking them off, you're a hypocrite. You know?
a lot of politicians get into the game and then realize that it's just a career, so they'll go towards the policies that get them the most
Yeah,
credit,
but
the
if
most
if you're a 15-year-old kid and you want to become a politician, you probably should not become a politician.
Yeah, you probably don't have friends either.
You're a bit. I think people should go into
Antisocial.
politics because they have a desire after a certain lifespan where they go, actually, I've had 20 years working in the public and private sector or whatever it is. I actually think, you know,
I
like
could
the guy
change this thing.
the guy who used to own the stand comedy clubs in Scotland. He's in the SNP now, Tommy. He's a politician now. He left. He used to own the comedy clubs in Scotland, and he just went into it because he was like, you know, working class guy.
Yeah.
Worked with people on minimum wage all the time, and actually went in to try and make change. And people actually like him because he's not a career politician.
Yeah.
He's a guy that like saw problems and went,
But you know what? There's so many people at the top, the bad eggs, that could stop you and get their own policy through, taking bungs, being dodgy.
As soon as you join a party,
Yeah.
you just have to follow the party lane on whatever the issue is. You know, look at Liz Truss. There's like videos of her at uni. You know, like
she's Lib Dem then, wasn't
she was Lib Dem and she's like protesting all this stuff, and then it's like super cut with
Yeah.
things, her contradicting like every point that she makes in that like uni
Yeah.
speech that she made.
Yeah.
Well, Liz Truss was good banter as PM though, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, she fucked. The mortgage rates went up.
But then how sound was the Queen to die on her watch though, so she could be the
But she's going to be there forever now.
Yeah, that was a real
Yeah.
good hookup from Liz. Like,
Dave, where can people buy tickets for your tour?
you can buy tickets from my show from David Hull's website or my own website, so daveelliottcomedy.com, or through my social media, which is at Dave Elliott Comedy. It's all the links are all there. So yeah, I'm all over the show. I'm in. I mean, I could probably just look up a list. It would be better because this is what I do too much. I'm like, I'm everywhere, and then people are like, well, where's everywhere? I'm like, well, I don't know.
Go to the website
entirely.
and check it. Like,
yeah, go to a website and look at it. But I'm in Portico, and Portaferry is my next
stop.
Then I'm at the Ardoin in Enniskillen on the 14th of June, the 15th I'm in Daly, Sonoma, 16th Brickwork, Derry, 21st Armagh, 22nd Ballymena, and then in July, the 4th I'm in Mahrafelt, the 5th I'm in Kiwis, the 12th of July, the Orange Holiday, I am doing the cross-community event of the year. I'm in Strabane on the 12th of July.
Unbelievable.
And then I'm wrapping it up on the 13th of July. I wish I'd have wrapped it up twice before. Wrapping it up on the 12th of July at the Old Church Arts Centre in Cushendun.
Well, you can't get better than that.
No.
Dave Elliott, thanks for coming into Cork and the Rock podcast. Go and see Dave live. He's absolutely brilliant. You're in for a real treat. The show's flying. Done really well up at the Lyric Theatre. Please do go and see him. And hopefully, Dave, we'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much for having me.